overview of all mobile game market. We have amazing panelists with us. I will introduce them to you. Maryna as Business Development Manager of Miniclip, Alaattin as Growth Manager of MobileAction, Utku as founder of njoyKidz, and Louis as co-founder of Sixpath Studios. So please, Maryna, could you tell us about yourself and your company, and then we will start with others.
Okay, sounds good. So, hi everyone, my name is Maryna. I'm Business Development Manager at Miniclip. So, Miniclip been around for a lot of years, like 20, more than 20 actually. We've been focusing nowadays on mobile games. So, most probably it's like PvP, sports, multiplayer games. It's something that we really like, something that we really know how to do. But at the end of the day, we're still doing some kind of M&A deals and acquiring. So, I think you've heard of a recent acquisition of Cypo that happened last year, just I think in the middle of the year of in June. So yeah, we are growing. We are quite big in terms of daily active users. So we're around 75 million of them. So we are quite big, I would say. You know, we've been around for a lot of years. We know what we are doing. And yeah, I'm really pleased to be here. So yeah, nice to meet you all.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Utku, please continue.
Okay. My name is Utku Bozkurt. I'm the founder of njoyKidz. njoyKidz makes kids games on the mobile markets. Besides, we are making another tool that's going to provide a feedback for the parents for the tracking their children and the performance of their children. So right now we are live with on the Google Play and App Store market with nearly 30 games, and we are still trying to continue and try to produce more.
Very nice. Thank you very much. So, Louis, how about you?
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Louis Whyte Jonah, and I'm the co-founder of Sixpath Studio. So, Sixpath Studio is a game studio in Nigeria where we build games, especially mobile games, targeting the African audience, adding African contents and assets. And currently, we are building Gameverse Africa, which is an educational product to teach game development and anything that has to do with the game industry, because there is a need for the game industry over here. It's very low scale. So we're trying to see how we can equip more persons to gain access to these technologies and push the game industry. Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Perfect, cool. And Alaattin, how about you?
Hi everyone, this is Alaattin and I'm a growth manager here at MobileAction. As Louis, I am also excited to be here and to be able to speak with all of you. In MobileAction, we have been around since like 2013, and we are mainly a mobile user acquisition intelligence technology provider type of company. We have various tools for app store optimization intelligence, ad intelligence, market intelligence, store intelligence in general. And we also another focus, which is Apple Search Ads, and we have a platform for running, managing, and optimizing and automating your Apple Search Ads campaigns as well. And I mainly provide support for our customers to utilize our tools better and get the best out of it. So yeah, and glad to be here, and thank you so much for the introduction, Ozhan.
Thank you very much. Pleased to meet you all. And finally, I am Ozhan from Math Studio. I work as head of gaming, and we produce hyper casual and hybrid casual mobile games. And now we will start with the overlooked subject, actually what Alaattin recently mentioned. And Apple has search ads, which is become very popular after post IDFA regulations. So we would like to talk a bit about it. And Alaattin, could you please start, because I think it's your expertise in the field.
Yeah.
So we would like to know your opinions about it.
Obviously. Well, I mean, as you mentioned, especially following the Apple's recent updates regarding the privacy and IDFA, it's been really it's been a bit complicated for marketers to attribute and analyze their ad performances in the usual ad channels such as like display ad networks like Facebook, Google, Instagram, all that source. But since Apple owns and controls the platform channel of Apple search ads, and with the help of the mobile measurement partners as well, it is still decent and possible to attribute and analyze your campaign performance when it comes to Apple search ads for your iOS campaigns compared to the other ad networks still. So this is also one of the highlights that I would like to make, that I think it's really beneficial for mobile game marketers to consider Apple search ads as one of the best channels to acquire users as of now, based on all the details that I've been mentioning till now. And also like a couple of other highlights that I would like to make about Apple search ads as well. So as you guys can imagine, and most probably some of you already know, that like more than 75% of app downloads happen after a keyword search made by the user. So they just like open their app stores, they go to the search bar, type something, and then find the application. So this indicates that there is a huge room to play around when it comes to mobile marketing, especially with the search ads, because if a user is searching for a keyword, it means that user is high intent user. They're actually looking for something. They're actually wanting to download an application which fits their needs. So if you play your cards right and do your Apple search ads right, it is going to help you help you too much to find high intent users that are actually looking for your application to download and use that. So that's one of the points. And again, like you can also, as most of the ad networks allow, you can utilize targeting options to find the most suitable users for your application to appear before them so that they easily find and download their application. And obviously there is like it's you can call it recent. Now you can run ads for your custom product pages. So if your application or if your game has diversification within it, you can make sure to target the correct users with your custom product page ads, which really helps to, again, for you to reach out to the correct user that you are looking for. And last point that I would like to make, obviously there are many more to it, but last point I want to highlight is that it really helps you with your organic. If your performance in Apple search ads gets better and better, it is going to be on the organic side as well. So in short, like considering all the details, I would strongly recommend for like mobile gaming people to consider Apple search ads as an alternative channel as well. And here at MobileAction, we kind of sorted it out. We know like how it works and how to do it the best way. So I am quite confident that Apple search ads is one of the best ways to conduct your user acquisition for your mobile game at the moment. And thank you so much for the question, Ozhan.
Thank you very much for the comments. 75% is really huge compared to other campaigns, especially. So, Louis, what's your opinion about search ads? Do you use them?
Yeah, good day. So search ad is actually one of the great tool, especially when you want to drive user acquisition in the gaming space, and it's actually very very awesome. So my opinion about search ad, personally, I don't really use search ad that much. I just rely on some certain other things which I use. Now, in the whole idea of creating search ad, it is very, very essential to maximize the effectiveness of the user ads for user acquisition. And this involves carefully targeting your ads to reach the right audience. And one of the disadvantages of, or should I say, advantages of using search ad is that it doesn't really, it helps, like gives the game like the products to reach like a very very high audience, especially when you're trying to reach out to people that are not in the region. For example, I would use Africa for an instance. Now, my personal example. So, creating games for the African space is very very different from that of the that of Asia and the rest of them. Because if you're creating games for the African space, you need to be very, very careful and very, very like direct when it comes to SEO and the rest of them. So most persons in this part of the world, in Africa to be precise, they don't really the gamers. We have a very little percentage of gamers right here in Africa, and most persons mostly rely on basically they don't really go up to the net to search for things that are related to the game space, especially except they are actual gamers, right? So search ads, in a way it works, but I would still rely on other areas to push the game space, especially in Africa here. So basically, you just need to test different copies of messaging and see if it resonates with your target audience, using of tracking analysis and tools and all that to monitor your performances for campaigns, and also just to make adjustment that is needed. But a very good use of search ad will bring profits and growth to the game and the product.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Utku, how about you?
Actually, Louis made very good points about the search ads. Actually, in our studio, we are trying to follow the same pattern as well. When it comes to our studio, when we observe the search ads, we have find out that the most advantageous phase of the search ads is actually when we market our game, we can see how can we plan and how can we try to develop our games after the initial session of the search ads promotion phase. After that, let's say that since ad performance metrics are not coming very well, we can tell this whether we continue the development process or not, because most of the small studios like us don't have enough sources to measure and don't have enough sources to waste their projects on the hopeless projects. So search ads actually giving us the exact right feedback on the whether the development should continue or we should switch back to different projects on our hands. So with the mobile action, like Alaattin said, with the MMP's help and the search ads, we are actually using the hybrid model to decide what can we do in our planning, in the game design and the game development as well.
So you make like a CTR test, but with search ads and see the results beforehand?
Yeah, actually, we can try to make a focus group to our upcoming games, and then when we test the games, we can see like an hyper casual studio like they do. We are making the same in the kids game. We try to find the right mechanics, right audience, and then we want to develop our games or adapt our games into another models, and then we can decide whether to continue or not, or we can use the same metrics or the same audience for another type of games. So that really helps for us. Other than that, Louis made most of the comments that I'm going to make actually.
Perfect, thank you. And Maryna, how are things at your front?
Yeah, in my front, we do use Apple search ads, which is obvious, right? But like, I'm not a UA guy, right? So I'm not a UA driven person. I'm not in UA, but I talked to my colleagues from the UA. Basically, what they told me so that because of the privacy changes, it become one of the and only trackable UA channel for iOS. So it's pretty good. And in particular, I think that the best thing about it that it's trackable channel due to the privacy. So yeah, it's a good one. So basically, I think it's going to develop over the years as well. So yeah, let's see what it's going to be.
Cool, thank you very much. And let's continue with another question, which is a bit about the subscriptions and game passes, which became very popular this year, especially on consoles and also subscriptions on PC side. And I want to see the reflection of it about the mobile platform. And what do you think about it, Maryna, about the Game Pass? Do you use such subscriptions or like maybe some bundles for your games so that the users can pay monthly and play?
Not really. We can have in our game some kind of a model, implemented, just like some kind of like a model with a subscription. But in general, subscription, it's not something that we do because it's not the way that we monetize. In most of the cases, I think subscription is really good for kids games. Yes, I think that Utku is going to tell us more about it, because in kid games, when you open it, you will see that all the subscription model is here, like 1 week trial or a month trial or whatever, usually a week, right? And then after that, you go to subscription. Just like I do not play a lot of kid games, but still, when you're looking for a game, you find this kid game and you play or draw or whatever that. You see that the only model that they use is going to be subscription. I think due to a lot of the reasons, right? It's going to be more better in the terms with kids than it's going to work with adults. But as you say, in PC and console, like they use this kind of a model because I think it's easier for them to use in a lot of different ways. It's the same like as we are going to discuss it about like Steam, right? And the people in consoles and PC, the amount of people is really different, right? People who play mobile games is still bigger. Just like you cannot calculate amount of people who play mobile. For example, a person can have like 3 mobile phones, and you imagine downloading the game for the 3 of his phones, right? So amount is going to be significantly higher in all of the ways. So yeah, just on our side, we do not use it because we are not a kid publisher, not a kid developer. But I think that Utku is going to enjoy this kind of a model. It's something that they do on a regular basis. So yeah. But I think it's interesting one as well, like the different way of monetization. But yeah, on our side, we unfortunately, we do not use it right now. Maybe next year, something's going to change in the business, in the core business, I mean, in general, like worldwide, right? And people will understand that like subscription model is going to work on all of the type of mobile games. Like it's hard to predict right now, but it's possible.
Perfect. Utku, so what do you say about it?
Actually, Maryna was right. In the kids market, subscription model has been leading the market for many years. I mean, in the gaming market, in the gaming phase, it's fairly new concept. The subscription models. So most of the hardcore gamers or most of the gamers in general are not very used to this concept very well. But when it comes to kids gaming, it's been used for years and years because most of the parents, they want to trust the studio. They want to trust what they make, and they want to give your children while you are. I mean, how can I say that? I don't know, but like when you think like a parent, they can make this decision very well because in the normal regular gaming spaces, maybe it's not very possible, but in the kids world, they are not just having fun, they are living with this app. So it's a very different concept to the general market. So for instance, a subscription model for children's games is more conventional and successful. It's going bigger and bigger every day. The main reason for the subscription model, as I said, the habits of families, the children and their trust, loyalty, and the brand itself. So although these issues are not clearly defined for casual players due to the nature of children's games, the subscription system is an area that is always trending, and it's always going to be in the kids game space, actually. So I agree completely.
So you say that if it's a paid service like a subscription, parents think that it's like more official and more commercial, so they can trust it. And if they can like make a suite file, etc. Stuff like that.
According to our observation, at least, we can see that if that game or if that app comes from a no-name studio, parents can hesitate whether they can pay or not. But if your brand is, if there's a brand awareness, if they can see what they do and they can trust you completely. For instance, in our studio, we do not take any ads within our games. We are making safe environment for the kids, and then we are trying to give the feedback for the parents, like the traction of their kids' performance, just by taking the metrics from our games, just by analyzing them on their basis on their ages, and then we are giving insights for the parents, like For instance, if it's a coloring book, we are saying the parents that your kid is 7 years old, let's say, and 7 years old use green color more than the others. So if your children is towards using green, you can check this ebook, you can check this blog, and you can just make your children learn these concepts to be more successful in his future life. So when you just support your game or app with that kind of concepts, parents see your app or game as a way to educate your children. So it's not like it's not just the game for them especially in the preschool area. It's everything for that children. So they are not hesitate to pay, or they are not hesitate to be a subscribe any of your products when it comes to monetize them.
All right, thank you very much. And Louis, what do you think about it? Do you use subscriptions in your games?
Yes, I would say subscription model is based on it's based on the kind of game you want to build, and it doesn't really work well for all the games. Just like they said, it works best for kid games, and the reason why it works best is because okay, for example, a kid is playing this particular game, let's say game A, and all you need to do is just to pay one single fee for that. Let's say if it's a weekly subscription or monthly subscription, so that the kid can have access to that game. So imagine having let's say an in-app purchase in that particular game. So it will be very, very difficult because a kid would not really have access to start making payments at every particular time, right? So that is why it is mostly best for some certain games and not the other. Well, some developers may find it very useful because all they want is just, okay, let's just pay for it and have access to the content. But it works in two ways, right? For some games, it benefits mostly the players and not the owners or the producers of the game, right? While in some cases it favors the players and not the producers or owners of the game. Now, compared to PCs and console games, subscription model is just maybe less popular, right? But personally, I feel, okay, if I want to use subscription model for my games, it has to be like games, educational games, right? Because all I need to do, because I really want to pass on information, not to make personal information, yes, but to make like extreme profit, depending on the kind of game, you just need to select if you want to use subscription or if you want to use other models for your games, like in-app purchase and all that. So ultimately, subscription model is best when it comes to value of the players, like to generate steady stream of revenue from the developer. Just like, okay, you're sure that exactly this time and this certain time you have a certain amount of persons subscribing for that particular game. So you just want to have like a steady inflow of revenue for your game. So that's like basically what I have to say on subscription model for games.
Exactly, I agree with you. Especially if you want a steady cash flow, you definitely need to try subscription model. And Alaattin, do you have any tools for subscriptions, or how do you manage to track them?
Well, I mean, in the like MobileAction hub, when it comes to like intelligence type of stuff, we have tools that you can see the in-app purchases, like subscriptions or other types of purchases if the applications have. So you can analyze what the big players or like others, your competitors, have been following to monetize their application, if they're like preferring subscriptions or if they're preferring one-time purchases, etc. When it comes to the Apple search ads, obviously, with the information that we gather from your MMP and then integrate into our platform, you will be able to analyze your campaign performances and how it tracks to the monetization models of yours. For example, let's say you have an event in your application that, like, when user triggers a trial, or when they subscribe, or when they deposit, or etc. So you can define those goals with your MMP, And then what you will be able to do is you will be able to analyze and track your campaign's performances based on that data that we receive from your MMP, so that you will see a funnel which gives you the rates of customers. You will be able to see where you lose most of your users, like whether from first time install to the trial, or from trial to subscription, all that stuff. So yes, and my personal thoughts on subscription model is from the perspective of a user. So I'm not a game developer, so I don't know. I cannot say my preferences when it comes to the subscription model or one-time purchase model. But personally, when I play a mobile game or PC game, I really enjoy playing games. I actually do not like subscriptions because it feels like I prefer more of a one-time purchase thing. I think it's more my thing, but obviously I agree with the methodology and the logic behind all the comments that the other panelists made. It really makes sense to me. But again, obviously, if you are confused, not everyone is as expert as you guys here. So if you're confused, you can just utilize intelligence tools to see what the big players are following when it comes to monetization.
Thank you very much. I agree with you. If it's like a multiplayer game or like a server-based game, subscription may be good, but other than that, it's not very liked by the users sometimes.
No. Just like to give it a try, you know, just like if you want to try something, you don't want to pay for that. Just get a free trial for 1 week and understand whether you like it or not. It's the best part about subscription model, right? So you try it and you understand whether you like it or not. Like if you do not like it, 99%, right? So you just like get rid of that.
Exactly. But sometimes, you know, it comes with the one-time payment and then subscription starts. So you already made your investment and sometimes you need
As
to
you
just
say, it's
content-
investment, right? So that's why it's an investment, long-term rate, you know? So let's see what's going to happen.
Yes, and talking about investments, we saw that this year, unfortunately, investments decreased a bit compared to last year, and it's kind of uncertain what will happen next year. However, Miniclip acquired Saibo, as you mentioned, Maryna. So I would like to know your opinions and maybe your company strategy for the following months about investments.
Following months is good, but the following months is January. January is always the beginning of a year. So basically, financially, yes, economically, and everything like that, it's like strategic planning. So we will know in 2023 what we are going to do. But till the end of the year, like in terms of Miniclip, yeah, I told you we are quite hyper this year. So we were quite good, like in terms of this. But it's M&A. It's not like an investment that usually people have, like a VC or something, right? So there's a huge difference between this type of investments. So in terms of buying, yes, we would like to continue on doing that. And I think there is like a lot of different targets around the world, you know, that we would like to acquire strategically, you know, if we're talking about strategic point of view to grow the company. We're quite big now, 16 locations. So like 1,000 people plus. So we're really big in terms of everything. In general, if we're talking about investment for the next year, most probably it will decrease, you know, just the situation now it's a bit different, you know, all around the world, like economically, financially, right? So there's a kind of a crisis upcoming. So it's already started. You can see it like within your bills and everything like that, right? And decrease of the salaries, how some companies are getting rid of people. There are a lot of different stuff that happened, not only good, sometimes it's bad stuff is happening as well. And due to search, you know, like search ads, you know, IDFA tracking, most probably it will decrease because it will be hard to scale something, right? When you invest money, you need to remember that there must be some kind of an outcome, right? You cannot invest and do not understand what's going to happen next. So basically, it must be planned. In all of the cases, there must be like scenarios, what is going to be like. At least the minimum should be break-even position. Right now, because of this, all of these changes in privacy IDFA that's I mentioned already, I think it will be tricky next year, but let's see. Still, there will be some people who will get investments. Definitely they will, because of the amazing products, amazing kind of games they made, or any other different factors. But most probably, like I'm sure that is going to decrease. But like, again, it's prediction. Yeah, end of this year. Let's see, maybe we'll come to Jan with some great investment from somebody into someone. Who knows, right? It's unpredictable. Remember last year, right? How it started. In January, everybody was already acquired, right? So what's going to happen next year? We don't know.
Exactly, it's a bit hard to forecast from now on, especially with Apple, and recently Google also made a regulation about the ads, and it's almost impossible to release a game with ads on Google Play Store. So, Utku, what do you think about investments? Do you expect any investment next year?
Actually, we did close our investment tour at the end of this summer, so I have experience from the first hand. As far as I can see, valuations and investment fell in 2022. Global recession is one of the biggest reasons of it, of course, as Maryna mentioned. In gaming world, the year 2022, at the mobile gaming world at least, is the year of the change, I believe, because the ecosystem is changing. So I find this situation natural. It's going to decrease for a while. But then I'm not that hopeless, actually. The shift from hyper casual to hybrid casual in 2023 is a good indicator, at least for me, because I believe that important projects, different kind of games, different kind of genres will be include big projects from different studios. So, and the emergence and the investment will increase because of that. In fact, I think that with the transition of many mobile studios to PC and console side, we will see more diverse works, and interest in the field will increase. For this reason, the gaming industry will become attractive again, at least what I believe is. So for the investors and for the merger and acquisition part, I am expecting maybe not in a very short time, but in the mid 2023, I'm expecting a little bit a growing market at that side of the market, actually.
Yeah, I have similar feelings with you. And how about your side? Have you received any investments, or do you expect for the next year?
Okay, good day. So yeah, currently I've not received any investments yet. I'm still working on one of the investments, and generally I would say with what is happening in the whole, I would not say game space, I would say the world talking about recession, it's looking like it's difficult for more investments to come in, especially in the Web3 game space, where they've been like a little setback in that the crypto and the blockchain world. You're looking at FTX, and of recent started seeing some trends of Binance and all that. So particularly investment in Web3 gaming, it's going to decrease. That's my own opinion due to what is happening, except we see a change of change basically in what is happening in the blockchain space. Now, basically, for investments to come in, to me, I feel it depends on the product you have and the game you have. In as much as we saw lots of companies like Meta dropping 11,000 people and all that, the truth is they still employed some few persons, right? In as much as companies are going into recessions, dropping persons, some companies are also still recruiting some other persons, right? But that is to tell you that yeah, definitely there's going to be more of a decline in the investment. But if your product is that good, if your product is that crazy, and if you can reach out to the right audience, you get investment as long as it's good. Because in recessions and in global epidemics like this, some companies they do get lots of some companies they would definitely lose out, while some would definitely profit from it. So it's just about positioning yourself, knowing your product. But definitely, generally, we are going to see a little decline in the investment space due to global recessions and laying offs and all that. But if your product is that good and you have the right audience and the right people to go about it, yeah, you'll definitely get investment.
Yeah, unfortunately, volatility of the market had a bad impact on the investments recently. Hope it will get better. And Alaattin, how about MobileAction? Do you plan any merger, acquisition, or investments?
Well, I personally am not very into that managerial stuff. I usually focus more on helping out customers, but I haven't heard anything related. But who knows? And well, I mean, in the general topic of investment, I think I cannot add more to what other panelists already have commented. I mean, things seem dire as always. Like the last couple of years have been very chaotic for whole the world. That includes mobile gaming marketing as well. So, I mean, I agree with all of the comments, but I would like to stay hopeful for the next year and see like more prosperous and looking forward to see things growing back again compared to the last couple of years. So yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Utku mentioned something about hybrid casuals and other platforms. So let's talk a bit about hybrid casuals, which is also a very trend topic recently. And Alaattin, please continue with your opinions about hybrid casuals, because I think it's really good for MobileAction to have hybrid casuals partners, I guess.
Definitely, because well, I mean, again, like I think it's something recent as well. We have been observing a shift from hyper casual to the hybrid casual. I think one of the main reasons was to increase the sustainability of the product that the people are developing and releasing. Because I'm even though I'm not 100% agreeing with what people have been perceiving the hyper casual games, it used to be perceived like hit and run, like you just like develop a game, you publish it, you spend tons of money on the ads, you gain a lot of money by publishing ads, and then you just close the application and run away. But I mean, I don't agree with this, because I really enjoy playing hyper casual games myself. But again, like sustainability has been a problem from a user perspective as well, like because seeing the game that you enjoy dying out is not really nice. From the perspective of MobileAction, well, I mean, since we provide a service about Apple Search Ads, which is again one of our strongholds, we actually like sustainable models more, because Apple Search Ads is not something that you get the results within a week or two, or you can run campaigns for only a couple of months and then just shut them down. You need consistency, sustainability, measurability, visibility, all the stuff when it comes to Apple Search Ads. We do have all of it, but unless we do have the right partner, it's not going to work out. So having more hybrid casual games and having to work with most of them, hopefully, also we are going to be able to expand our business for Apple searches as well. And I am also really excited to see more hybrid casual games on the stores, because I really love to play them as well. So I'm looking forward to release of more hybrid casual games in the following year, and hopefully some from Matt Studio as well.
Yeah, we are trying on it. Thank you very much. Utku, do you plan to implement ads into your games and maybe use hybrid monetization, or what's your opinion about hybrid casuals in general?
For your first question, no, we do not want to implement any ads within our games, because it's the main idea of njoyKidz was to create an educational, safe, and fun space for the children. So we do not want to make any changes of it. For your other question, yes, we all know that hyper casual market is suffering lately because of the metrics, because of the ads, IDFA, and different kind of factors. So many publishers decided to stop working with the small hyper casual studios, and the studios who cannot make any hits for now. So the market is getting a little bit smaller in that area, but because of the market is getting smaller, on the other hand, hybrid casual market is growing and emerging. I think the main reason here is that when you look at the mobile gamer, we see that in the recent years, mobile gamers was a little bit more experience, mobile gaming was a bit a new concept for many gamers actually. But for now, it's not like that. For now, even hardcore gamers can play Diablo on their mobile devices. So the gaming market is changes, user behavior is changes. So now the experience of those people over the years and the increase of the familiarity of the mobile games of the audience is changing, and the market is shifting for the other genres, other directions. Today, there's a mass of mobile games. They know that market is changing, and the studios is taking their place beforehand because they don't want to make games which is a growing, which is a smaller market. So they want to take their places on the other genres. For instance, in the local market, as Alaattin and Ozhan, you guys may know, there are so many mobile studios now. They want to make their games on the PC and console side. They want horror games, and I see that kind of changes is a positive changes, because even though some people very criticize that that kind of stuff is very easy and very I don't know how to put that without saying something wrong, but in the development side, they can sometimes criticize that it's the easiest thing to do. So, but on the other hand, when you are switching from mobile to PC, you cannot make directly big projects. Everyone knows that. So if you are making hyper casual now, you cannot make most of the time casual games directly. So you have to kind of place yourself on the middle. So I see that hybrid casual market on that area. It's just a switching genre. It's going. I believe that hybrid casual genre is going to switch itself for different genres, and it's going to die out at some time. But for now, and in the upcoming years, we will see hybrid casual from more and more studios. But at the end, the integration is going to be complete, at least in my thinking, and we are going to see different kind of studios in different kind of genres with big projects. So I see that all as a positive sign for the market.
Thank you very much for the comments. Louis, what's your opinions about hybrid casuals? Do you experience them? Have you ever made any games on that genre?
Yes, currently we have 3 games on. We have 3 hyper casual games, and one of them we are looking at. We've already started incorporating ads to it, and yeah. So basically, I see hyper casual as that particular emerging space, especially here in Africa, because it's quite easy to play. So lots of persons are just engaging in it, and it's quite. It doesn't really need any serious mechanics. So personally, I don't really have much about the lifetime of hypercasuals. I can't really predict how far it's to go, because we just found out that of recent hypercasuals started became like tops in the whole game space. Lots of persons loving it and getting lots of funds for that from it basically. But my opinion is, for now, I can't really predict the future in the market. But from what I'm seeing, it's growing steadily. And personally, on our hyper casual games, we are looking at see how we can incorporate the hyper casual and also blockchain to it. And that has been like one of the projects we are working on, and see how we can make a balance between hyper casual, because we found out that there are lots of persons that love hyper casual. So why don't we just see how we can incorporate the blockchain gaming and how they can earn from it and all that. So that has been one of the projects we've been working on, and we've been progressing so far. I think currently we are using an API from a company, Mozart. They have like very cool API. Currently, they just got funding too. So yeah, the process and the journey has been so great so far, and we hope to release it, then use the hyper casuals to test the market on how the hyper casual market is basically. So yeah, that's from me.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Maryna, do you have any hybrid casual games on your wish list, or you only go
No.
for the casuals and
No.
for games?
No. There's going to be the answer for all of the questions you're going to ask me about hyper casual and hybrid casual. Unfortunately, or fortunately, again, Miniclip is not working in this type. We do more casual one. But if we're talking about the hyper casual market in general, and because I was working in hyper casual before, I pivoted to casual market. So in terms of that, I think that most of the studios are going to pivot to hybrid casual because they understand the audience is maturing, right? So they would like to get these players who is going to have long time retention, right? So for a long time to play more, because like if we are going to talk about the lifetime of hyper casual game is really like from 3 to 6 months. If you're lucky enough, it can happen like 9 to 12 if you're very lucky. If the game is extremely good, top one on iOS and Google, for some time and people like it, it can be. But other than that, 6 months, it's a lifetime of the game. So everybody knows that. But when you're pivoting to hybrid casual, it prolongs. And people who would like to invest again, and people who would like to, to have this curve of the mature users, they understand that. That's why studios are pivoting to that. In terms of development, it's not that difficult as well, right? As you're developing like a hardcore game, it's really difficult, right? Midcore game, very difficult, long time. But for the hybrid casual, it's not a long time, a bit more complex in terms of the meta and core gameplay in comparison to hyper casual, but still, right? But in the long-term run, it's going to give you an opportunity to see your users coming longer, playing your game longer, means you're going to monetize them better, means you're going to earn more. Easy. But okay, let's see what is going to happen to that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I agree with you. It's much more higher LTV if you have deep content, and also use hybrid monetization because ads only not enough anymore. And almost all of us talked about like switching to other genres or like PC console stuff. And I would like to add something about it. So I think you all know Steam platform, which is mostly used for PC. And it's changed its strategy and now functions almost like a App Store or Google Play Store. It was really hard to publish games on Steam in the past. You need to be approved for the like greenlit if you are not a very big known company, and almost none of the indie games or small studios had a chance to publish their games on Steam. But now it's changed, and considering the multi-platform trend, some of the studios completely transitioned into like PC console side to the Steam. Some of them like partially transitioned, like they continue their mobile activities, but also trying new stuff on Steam as well. So let's talk a bit about Steam. And do you think is it some kind of alternative for game companies and also for the gamers, for the players, when we consider the Steam versus App Store or like mobile stores? Maryna, what do you think about it?
I do not think that is an alternative. It's completely different market. So as I mentioned before, it's the one and another, like Steam and mobiles, it's very different, like it's impossible basically to substitute one with another. It's not going to happen because of the amount of people who are playing mobile games. Again, not all of the people are going to switch to Steam. No. Like if you're going to make some kind of a A/B testing on asking some people who knows what is it Steam, you will find out that a lot of people do not really know what that, but all of them knows how to use mobile and how to use like App Store, right, to download some kind of a game. So it cannot be the substitution. They're like both are different models. The same with a PC and console. There are still people who play PC and console, but the amount of those people is less. those people are real gamers, right? They play for fun, they play for something else, they have the teams, they achieve some tasks, they would like to, I don't know, play in world tournament. I know this kind of people, and they're crazy about that. They can spend like whole days playing games. But when it comes to mobile, which is a good part, people in most of the cases in hyper casual, hybrid casual games, they're coming to waste their time while they're on a train, while they're moving home, while they're doing some kind of a stuff, just to relax, just before night, just lie down on your bed and just play to relax, to switch your mind. But it's not going to happen with a PC, console, and Steam, right? It's not going to happen. Imagine that stuff somebody would like to switch to play before going to bed. What's going to happen, right? You're going to play for 10 hours straight. Because it's like that. It's a kind of a game and it's really addictive, right? You're starting to be engaged when you do that. So it's not going to be a substitution. It cannot be. It's just impossible. Two different words. And I think it's going to stay the same.
Thank you very much. I think you also talked about the user side as well. It's really hard to transition into another gaming type.
Yeah, different type of users. So we just like, it's not going to happen soon. Maybe like in 5-10 years, let's see what's going to be. But right now, it's just impossible, just because of two different models.
All right, thank you very much. Louis, what do you think about it? Do you have a Steam account?
So the first time I came across Steam was during a conference, and I've been playing games, and then I started the development game career. That was last year as a developer and studio, basically. So funny enough, it was this year I came across Steam, and the reason is that these platforms are not really known to the general public, right? Just like she said. So as somebody that wants to play game, which is basically mobile games, you go on the store, you download, except you're in the game space. That is when, okay, you now hear about Steam. Then I actually had a conversation with Tom and Cassidy of Steam. That was like some months back, and they shared a lot of insights. So what I think Steam is doing, Steam is targeting a different audience from the general public, right? And let's say if I want to for pro gamers, so that's why I actually agree to what she said, right? So for the pro gamers, people that are actually taking it professionally, and then they can go to Steam and get their games and play games, right? Now, for developers that are looking at testing their games too, Steam is a very beautiful platform to just go and test your games too. But it's actually two-sided. The game industry is much more populated by the mobile industry. So that's Google and Apple have that particular market because of their stores, right? Then for the externals I would not say really an alternative, but it gives different reach and targets to some other persons, especially to developers that want to see how they can test their games, get followers, get users and data before they can actually push it out. And another thing is Steam doesn't really work well with mobile games. Yes, you can do your mobiles there, but it doesn't really work well with mobile games. So it's just basically you enjoy it more when you're playing for PCs and all that. Then also talking about Web3 games, right? They don't offer any services that has to do with blockchain game due to the policies and their rules and all that. They have their reasons, which is actually valid. So yeah, so Steam is a very beautiful platform when it comes to for the developers to push their games, get testers and all that. But generally, it's not really competing with the mobile market, right? It's on a different scale altogether, and it's beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I agree at some content, like it's almost impossible to implement a blockchain to the Steam because they already have their own system, which is very similar to like crypto and NFTs. You can use your assets in the Steam universe. And also considering the number of new games, still it's not very relatable to mobile. as a user, but as a company, you may want to like try games on the Steam, and also some mid-core games. They also have Steam versions because since they are really hard to play games and you need to focus, people may want to play them on Steam instead of on mobile, even if it's the same mobile game. So, Utku, what's your opinion? Do you have any plans to release games on Steam or on PC?
Actually, as a kids game company founder, it's very hard for me to speak about Steam because I'm a regular user of Steam. I play most of the hardcore games that may but on the other hand, when it comes to kids games, as Maryna said, it's a very different user. It's a very different audience. So it's very hard for me to imagine a kid downloading a njoyKidz game from its computer and playing it. So it's very hard scenario for me. But for your question, I think if we divide your question into two parts, as has Steam become an alternative for mobile gaming studios, I believe my answer will be yes, because as I mentioned before, most of the mobile gaming companies are now trying to switch to PC and console side. So when their know-how, when their expertise on this area will increase in the upcoming years, we are going to be talking about the like the Tailwords example, different companies from Turkey or another part the part of world. We are going to be speaking about many more companies who are very successful on the Steam. But on the other hand, when it comes to user side, I don't think it's going to be an alternative to the App Store or Google Play, because as Maryna said, the target audience is very different. Casual mobile game players and hardcore gamers.
I think there is a problem with Utku's connection, and probably he is just disconnected. So, Alaattin, could you please continue with your opinions?
Obviously, I will keep it short since I think we are running low on time. So I personally love Steam. I have been a Steam user since 2010. So for the last 12 years, I have been regularly using Steam. But again, like as all the other panelists have mentioned, Steam is not really focused on the mobile games on mobile market. I cannot still download a game from Steam to my mobile phone and start playing it. They introduced something called Steam Link recently, which is an awesome technology. You can connect to your PC via your mobile phone and like direct your PC from your mobile phone and play games. But it's not really like it's not stable at the moment. Like it's not really useful, especially for a player. So yeah, I mean, I agree with all of them. I don't think still Steam is a competitor for Apple's App Store or Google Play Store at the moment. But I mean, let's see what the future brings to us.
Thank you very much. Utku, is everything all right on your side? Do you want to continue? Okay, I think
We lost him.
it's not a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any questions from the audience or maybe from our panelists before we close out? We have a couple of minutes. If not, I will mention another topic and just wrap up things. How long is a hyper-casual game lifetime of growth in each market? Yeah, as Maryna mentioned, hyper-casual lifetimes are very low compared to other genres. It's like starts from couple weeks to couple months, but usually after 3 months or something, it loses momentum and disappears because of the new trend or new mechanic. Do we have any other questions? Okay, before closing out, I just want to ask a small question about generative AI and AI in general, because recently lots of debates going on everywhere, like almost every platform. And Maryna, what's your opinion about generative AI or their usage in like game development or gaming in general?
I think it's a hype, you know, just simple, keep it simple. Yeah, I think it's a hype. Maybe it will be good for ads, but let's see what's going to happen. You can find a lot of articles on Pocket Game Biz, right, and in other resources to read about the AI, what's going to happen with that. But like you remember NFT, right? You remember Metaverse, right? So it wasn't that much ago.